Well, good afternoon. Captain Patrick Worley again here to spend a few moments with you. Again, we're trying to create video content, again, that addresses questions that we frequently hear or mistakes that we see people making before they become a client of our particular firm. What I'd like to talk about very briefly today is, and this should be a bumper sticker on the back of your car, you buy a boat to sell it. Let me repeat that. You buy to sell. Now, most people are surprised that I want to talk about selling. Another word for selling is exit strategy. A lot of people say, well, Patrick, we really don't want to address that right now. We want your help in reviewing contracts and setting up the LLC and creating books and records and finding out what's tax deductible and so forth and so on. And I understand that, and that's an important service that we want to provide and will provide. But you need to be thinking pretty much from day one, what is this going to look like in terms of an exit strategy in 3 and 4 and 5 years? So let's spend a couple minutes and talk about that. Number one, you need to think about, by about the 3rd year, if you're in full-time bareboat charter, your boat's starting to get some hours on it, both on the diesels and the generator, and probably a little wear and tear that unfortunately just happens in the charter world. Well, your boat then can start going down in value. And if you're in a variable program, we have found over the years that yachts where they can pick 2 different yachts, a new one and an old one, for about the same amount of money, charter guests tend to go with the newer one. They're lighter, faster, better, cooler, and obviously in better condition most of the time. So by about the 3rd or even 4th year, your vessel's starting to lose value. And guess what? At the exact same moment, the vessel that you might be looking to buy, maybe the one you've been eyeballing at the boat show, well, of course, it's now had 4 years to have the price go up in value. Maybe you were looking at it at $1 million and it's $1.2 million, maybe $1.3 million, maybe $1.4 million now. Remember, and I did this in an earlier video, boats are made of fiberglass, fiberglass made of oil. So again, we believe large price increases, very substantial price increases are on the horizon. So it might be better for you and it might not. And again, work with a local yacht professional in terms of a broker as to what that looks like, but I try to boost out usually in about the 3rd, never longer than the 4th year. I seem to get a little bit more money for my yacht as a trade-in, and of course I'm buying the yacht 1 year earlier, so I might save 5, 6, 7, maybe 8% on the retail sales price. And of course, if you buy at a boat show, sometimes you can get a pretty good deal there too. So again, buying a boat to sell it. Timing. Next, there's tax issues. Again, if you used bonus depreciation, or even if we didn't use bonus depreciation, there can be issues of what are called recapture. I don't have time today to have a recapture conversation on this video, and they are very specific to individual circumstances, but please know that there are sometimes issues when you sell a boat of having to give back some of the money that you were able to deduct early in the boat's career. So again, that's the issue of recapture. Another thing is to kind of, a lot of people will think about is they'll start off with a monohull and they'll spend some time on catamarans, here and there, and they'll decide to go from a monohull to a catamaran, or by the way, vice versa. So that's an important thing to think about in terms of your next boat. The old joke is what does a guy with a 40-foot boat want? Well, he wants a 45. Well, what's a guy with a 45-foot boat want? He wants a 50. That's the joke. But sometimes bigger is not better. That can create issues of parking and issues of cost and hauling. There's not, depending on where your vessel is going to be located, there are some yards that can't pull anything that's 45 feet or wider, 45 foot or beamier in terms of the length. So again, as you're using your boat, think about that. Cabin size. Many of the newer vessels, to save weight and other issues, will have 2 heads, one in the porthole, of course, and one in the starboard hull. That makes for a lighter, easier, faster to sail boat. A lot of vessels like mine, my new 53, there's five bathrooms, 5 heads, so to speak. One in each cabin, and then one for the captain, of course, on the forward port side. So again, that adds a lot of weight and a lot of complicated wiring and plumbing and dealing with the black water and the gray water and so forth and so on. So again, just keep it conscious, keep the thought in your mind, hey, we're going to sell this boat one day. By the way, what kind of condition is the vessel going to be in? That's a huge buy to sell conversation for you to have from time to time. I can tell you that if your vessel is not being waxed properly in the hot Caribbean sun, wherever it's parked, there's not going to be much left, again, of the exterior appearance. As we say in the yachting industry, you don't wax the fiberglass, you wax the wax that's on the fiberglass. If you get to the fiberglass, it's too late. Your vessel's going to chalk up, discolor, and you're going to lose a lot of potential revenue when it's time for your new buyer to walk up and look at the outside of the boat. Best to do it more often. You know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Better off to do small amounts of wash and wax here and there. Keep the exterior looking great. Keep the interior looking great. Generator hours, that's another issue that can come back and bite you on the backside in terms of the exit strategy. One of the things I've done for years is I always increase, when I can, the solar panel count and, of course, the number of batteries. This creates a lot of electricity in the evening. Of course, you can't run the air conditioner, but you can run the radio and the lights and do a lot of other things, and that sometimes reduces the hours on the generator, which again is going to be something that your buyer is going to have a keen interest in, hours on the diesels and the generator. So again, I don't need to get more specific today, but if you're thinking, if that thought is going through the back of your mind, maybe we should get a boat in the Abacos next time. Maybe we should be thinking about a catamaran. Maybe we should be thinking about a bigger boat, because the grandkids are getting older and now they're going to be coming out more often with you. Think through those things at the beginning. Think through those things, again, each time you use your vessel, so that way you sort of have a path to ride on when it comes time to actually start talking to us about what the tax ramifications are going to be, as well as a professional yacht broker in terms of values and costs and things like this. So again, thank you for your time. If you have any questions about this issue, or you'd like to talk a little bit about your exit strategy, give us a call here at the Worley Group. Be happy to talk to you. Thank you.